What's up guys, I'm Zach from Dr.Z Fabrication, and today I'm going to show you how to assemble my do-it-yourself winch plate with hitch mount mounting kit. Wow, that's a lot. But anyways, let's get right into it. Okay, when it comes to your doorstep, this is how it's going to come. These are going to be the pieces that come in the kit. Let's check it. Okay, you got your winch plate, that's where your winch bolts do. You got your front plate, which that's where your fair lead goes, okay? And then you got your triangles to brace it in. You got two of them. And then you also have two of these pieces, one for the front, one for the back for underneath, and then also has the 2-inch receiver, 15 inches long for your hitch mount. Okay, so that's pretty much how it's going to come when you get it shipped to you. As far as tooling, tools you're going to need to assemble this kit. First, you're going to need a square, something that has a good square 90-degree edge. You're going to need that. Next thing, you're going to need a tape measure, because there is measuring that's going to be involved. I'll show you that later on in the video. Sharpie, it's nice to have. You might need it to mark it so you don't fuck it up. Safety glasses, because you are going to have to do some grinding. And then also a 4.5-inch grinder. I mean, you can use a grinding disc, you can use a flap disc. I'm using a sanding disc, which I don't know, I like them. They work pretty good for what I like, for what I'm doing. But you're also going to need a welder. You can pretty much use, you could probably TIG it, you could stick weld it. I'm going to MIG weld it because I feel like it's easier. So, okay, first steps first, you're going to want to grind all of the edges. As you can see on the back pieces, there's slag on it, okay? Bunch of slag. You need to grind all the slag off of it so it's bare metal. So that's step one. So let's get to it. Also, gloves, they're nice to have. Safety glasses. That's how you want it to look. Nice and bare metal. Nice and bare. Nice and bare. Okay, when you have all the grinding done on the back side of them, which is the slag side, there's one thing that you're gonna have to do before you can start mocking anything up. And this winch plate, these holes are not in center of the plate, so you're gonna have to measure. So you're gonna have to get your tape measure out, and then you're gonna want to measure from this edge to the edge of the hole, which is 6 3/4 on this side, okay? And then on this side, looks like 5 3/4. Okay, so 6 3/4 on this side, that means it's our long side. So our long side is gonna be our left-hand side. So that means you're gonna want the fair lead mounting bracket like this. And that's gonna be, this is gonna be the front. Okay. Okay, another thing that I like to do before I weld these together, I like to clean up the edges, because when plasma cut, it, I don't know, it just gets this weird, I don't know what you want to call it, just gets some weird stuff on the edges, and then when you try to weld it, you get a bunch of porosity in your weld, and it just makes your weld look like shit. So we're gonna grind the edges where we're gonna weld. So on the bottom, we're gonna grind all this off, just to pretty much just to polish it, just to get all the, I don't know, what do you, slag? I don't know what's called, but anyways, so we're gonna do this edge, and then on the front, where this goes to this piece, we're gonna do that edge too, and then we're also gonna do both sides, and then also you're gonna do these on this side and this side, not the angled side, because that's the top. That's the top. Okay, so let's get to it. Get to it. Probably put a glove on for this because I don't want to take my fingers off. Okay, you got all your sides ground down, and you're ready. You're ready to start mucking everything up now. Okay, so let me get my welder hooked up. Okay, welder's on. So, I wish the fan didn't run on it, but it's an older unit, so anyways. Okay, so you want to get, okay, like I said before, you want the long side on the left-hand side of you if you're facing it, okay? And then the short side's going to be on your right-hand side. So that means this is going to be the front. Okay. Okay, so when you weld, when you want to mock this up, you want it edge to edge. So you kind of want to leave the edge underneath, so then you can like have a good weld on it and have like an edge to weld on. So like use these pieces, slide them underneath the front so then it doesn't fall, and you can line it up. Okay, there's that. Get your square, put your square. I mean, if you have what are they called, magnetic squares, I think that's what they're called. Something. If you have some of them, they work pretty good. I do have some of them, but I'm trying not to use them because not everyone and their brother has them, because they don't plan on doing a lot of fabrication work. But anyways, make sure your edges are square, or I should say flush with both sides, which looks like it's pretty good. So I'm just gonna throw a tack on the inside here. Good figure since I tap it. Good figure, my gas isn't purged yet. Okay, there it is. She's on now. It's pretty much tack it on both sides. Make sure it looks pretty. I mean, you can measure it too. If you want to get pretty fancy with it, you can get your tape measure out. You can, you know what I mean, you can measure it. Make sure it's perfect, because we don't want her to not be perfect. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so that's good. Technically you should be wearing a welding helmet too, but I'm trying to do this as fast as possible so this video isn't like a half-hour long video and it just drags on and on and on. So I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. Okay, and then once you get her tacked up, and then next thing you know, you try to push it and the tack breaks. centers. Hold it. Okay. You want to get your triangles, and then they're going to go on the outside tool, which you can also use this piece like we did for the front piece. Put her in there like so. Pretty simple. I mean, would it take me like 10 minutes to get to here? To prep it, to tack it? It's not very complicated, and I'm not really, I mean, I'm sort of taking my time to get it perfect, but not really. Because like I said, I'm trying to show you how to get it, like where pieces go. I mean, it's a winch plate. This will work fine. I mean, all it's holding this here is your fair lead. I mean, I added this the whole way so it strengthened up the plate so it doesn't twist the plate. But anyways, that's the plate. That's the winch plate. And then you're gonna pretty much, see if you can see it. You're gonna have a nice little area where you can fill it with weld. Nice little area. So I'm not going to weld this up yet because I usually knock it all together before I weld it. But anyways, when you start welding on it, make sure you take your time and you don't put a lot of heat to it real quick because it will probably definitely warp. So that's a tip for you if you want to use the tip or not. I mean, she said she liked the tip, but I gave her the whole shaft. Anyways, some other things you'll probably need. You got a wood block around here just to prop it up. Just to prop the plate up so then you can get the hitch receiver set up. Okay, so here's these pieces. These pieces are gonna go in the center of between these holes. Okay, so you're going to want to mount your receiver tube in the center of the holes. I mean, I don't care if it's off center from here to here because I know this isn't, it's not right. I mean, it is right in my eyes because one side of the winch is like this and the other side of the winch is like this. So that means you're adding more material just to get the whole thing centered in it. And it means it's more weight and bigger and bulkier. I'm trying to keep it small as possible so it's small, easier to handle, but again, it is a lot more weight than the Harbor Freight one because it is actually thicker material. But anyways, like I said, you're gonna want to find your center between these bolt holes. So you can either measure from the inside of the bolt holes to the inside of the bolt holes. Looks like it's around 9 inches, so that's pretty easy. Half of 9 is 4.5. So you want to mark your 4.5, and that's your center. And then if you have one of these squares like I do, where you can just put it right on the edge there and just draw a line so you know where your center line is. Okay, there's our center. Okay, there's our center. I'm not really sure. This doesn't have any holes in it. I'm not sure if I want to start, before I even ship them to you, have the hole already drilled through it, so then all you have to do is just pretty much weld it all, mock it all up and weld it all together and don't have to drill holes. But I have a feeling there is going to be people out there that's going to want that hole in a different location, so I might just leave them blank. It's not that hard to drill a 5/8 hole in it. I mean, all you got to do is throw that piece of tubing in, say like your truck's hitch, and then get a Sharpie and mark both sides of it, and then center punch the center of it, and then you can drill a hole there, and that's how you get your spot. Or I might just cut out these, so then you can just find the center of the tubing with this piece. You just pretty much, you put it on, you pretty much put this on the tubing. I mean, I didn't grind it, it still has slag on it and everything, so it's not really sitting flat. But anyways, you could sit it on there, and then you can get your square like this, and then you could put it against there, and then you put it against there, and that should be the center. Should be. I was thinking about doing it like that, so then, I don't know, I'm just trying to figure it out as I go. But anyways, you find your center in the plate. Find your center in the plate between these inner bolt holes. Okay, you're not going to the outside, you're going right inside these bolt holes, and you want the center of that because you want the bar in the center of the winch drum, where it's going to be pulling the wire, rope, whatever kind of cable you have in your winch. Anyway, so then once you get this determined where you want it, and you get it centered, which technically you could come up here with a tape measure, come in front of it, mark 1 inch, find your 1 inch mark and mark it on the tubing. Pretty much come up here, line it up with the mark that we drew down the middle of it, just to give you a rough idea where it's going to be. Man, I wish I had something. Oh, I got here. This will work. This will work. Okay. I mean, if you have a clamp, awesome. If you get this thing, I mean, anything to help hold it works awesome, because especially when you have 2 hands. But anyways, to get this thing centered, like I said, you're going to use the inner bolt hole. So you want to make sure your measurements, you want to measure and make sure it's centered. Like right there, it's not centered. It's very close. Okay, that's pretty close. Okay, so you're gonna get these pieces. Once you get this figured out, you can tack it in the center, or you can come up. I'd say tack it in the center here on both sides, so then it's not in the way of these pieces. And then you're gonna get these pieces, and then you're gonna slide them down over. And then I'd say probably move them in, so like they're 1/4 inch up the plate. So then you have a nice spot to put a nice bead. So you're going to tack that on both sides. You're going to get that where you need it. And then you're going to do the same thing with the front. Well, I mean, I have this clamp here. So you pretty much tack them. Let's see if I can get this thing so loud with the fan. Okay, so we're going to tack it. Yeah, so I mean, I didn't clean the tube up. Like I said, I'm trying to get this video done because I'm already at 24 minutes. So I'm just trying to get this thing, just trying to get her mocked up so that you can see how it goes together. Okay, so you get that tacked, pull your clamp off, get your piece, slide your piece down. There we go. Same thing with the front. You're going to want to leave it like a little quarter of an inch out. mean, probably right around 1/4 inch. And same thing, if you have a square is too big, go figure. Go figure. Go figure. But anyways, that's pretty much how you do it. You tack them on place. I'm just gonna tack them on for shits and giggles because I'm trying to get this video done and it's taking longer than what I want. Because it takes forever to upload on YouTube then. So it's all, damn, I wasn't, my face wasn't even in the video, but anyways, it's all mocked up. Let me show you it. Actually, I'm gonna show you what this looks like. Okay, it's pretty much what it's gonna look like. I mean, one thing you can do, you can have this stick out a little bit so then you can weld around it, or you can push this piece back in this piece so then you have a nice edge like down here I do, okay? So you could do that. I think that's how I did my last one. It turned out pretty good. But anyways, this is what the bottom looks like all mocked up. So I just tacked in the middle. Doesn't, I mean, I know mine's not perfect because like I said, I'm trying to rush. I'm trying to get this mocked up so then, I mean, give me a second. So that's it. I mean, it's easy as that. It took me, I guess my phone says we're at 28 minutes right now. I mean, that's it. Besides drilling the hole, like I said, I might start doing them. I might not, because it does take time to drill holes, and like my plan is to try to sell these cheap as possible, and it's kind of hard to sell them right now for cheap because metal prices are going through the roof and just keep getting more expensive and more expensive. I mean, that's pretty much about it. I mean, that's it. I mean, all it needs now is the hole drilled, which I could throw this in my truck right now and mark the hole, and then I could drill it. You could drill different holes, different spacing, so then you could have it stick in further, stick out further. It is definitely better than Harbor Freights. Yes, it is going to be more money than Harbor Freights, but at the end of the day, it will hold up and it will not break like Harbor Freights. I will be doing more videos of projects, installs, instruction videos. I plan on doing some other stuff. So definitely stick around, watch what happens. Take care.